On the bow of this tug, and I was playing We Are Sailing the last time, you see. Not with the tannoy, it was telling us how grateful there was and all like that. And as we left, there was these rows of Royal Navy ships doing red, white and blue smoke. And all the sailors like that as we went by, you know. Oh. And I told Chuddy again, I turned to Chuddy. I said, I didn't know you was emotional. He said you want to see yourself.
It was just like a ferry, you know, like we did passengers dinners on a night and breakfast in the morning. We worked in the galleys 6 till we had a couple of hours off, didn't we, Mally? And then reverted back 4 o'clock. We started again till about 9 o'clock at night.
Marvellous.
Oh yeah.
It was Hully Gullies mainly.
Against the Wesleys, the West Yorkshire lads.
And Wesleys, yeah. And it was really nice, and it was one big happy family.
Yeah.
I used to be playing the piano in the mess room, and they used to have lunch on board, and it was really nice.
Yeah.
Lovely family atmosphere.
I used to take the cheese round for the passengers so I could...
Not with serviettes.
We were on our way from Europort to Hull on the Friday night, and I got the message about 9:30, and it said that when we got to Hull next morning, we were to discharge cargo passengers, and then the ship was to be handed over to the MOD. And I got a real shock when I handed him the message. I'll never forget the look on his face.
She was ideal for the task. When the MOD requisitioned the ship, she was ideal for loading the paratroops and the stores to take them up to Ascension Islands.
Because at that time it was the largest passenger ferry in the UK, sailing under the UK flag. And not only could it take about 1,200 passengers, but it could also take a lot of freight, which was obviously very useful for the MOD.
Because they only wanted the best. We're the best, aren't we?
It first came from Brian Lavender. He got the message as was coming down from Rotterdam, and then from there it went to Don Ellaby, and then Don Ellaby got all the crew and officers together in the restaurant, and he explained what was happening to the ship. From there he asked for volunteers, and all the crew and officers volunteered, because it was one big family on the ship. We didn't want to leave each other.
It was our ship, you know, you didn't want anyone else taking it over.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we were on the ship, it was our ship. I felt it was my duty to go. I must admit, as I said, well, I know it might sound a bit old-fashioned, but what my father went through during the Second World War, when it came his son's turn to have a go, I felt I couldn't really let him down. That's the honest truth.
I think everybody was a bit shocked really for the first couple of days. So we started getting the ship ready for a task in front of it.
Yeah, I think it was a big deal for the married people, yeah, with families and children, you know, to tell your wife it could be possible you'd be going down south to Ascension Islands with a bunch of paras and all kinds of ammunition and that, you know. It's to explain to them that you won't be very long, you know.
I think it was 8 weeks originally,
Yeah,
when I was told to order all the stores.
yeah.
The worst night was Portsmouth. That night in Portsmouth before we sailed, we all made a phone call home and that was it. I was glad when we sailed because we knew we'd bent our bridges then and that was it. And we was on our way for whatever happens.
Well, the quay was packed with families, friends and
Yeah.
whoever was there. Give us a good send-off.
Yeah. Well, I remember about the going away, it was one of the hardest things to ever do is just let go. You know, all the families was there and waving goodbye. It was quite dark by then. And I remember doing all and slipping out with Roy on the back playing his piano.
There was the blokes waving to the wives and children, and there was little kids crying on the quayside, which is only natural, and that was sad. It was a bit of a carnival atmosphere. I'm on the old Joanna on the after end, but as we were sailing from the lock gates, it was eerie because you could see all the people just standing waving to us, and you're thinking to yourself, "Are we going to come back to see you?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then when we left Portsmouth, with all the paras, all the wives and children was there, weren't they, on the quayside, and there was little lads dressed as little paras. And there was a band playing, Kiss Me Goodnight Sergeant Major and Argentina and all like that, and Run Rabbit Run.
Just went to the after end and there's one of the other engineers were there. And, I mean, I don't know, it's too rather prophetic, but the sun was going down as well. It was in sunset, you know, and I must admit, there was quite a few thoughts racing through in my mind, you know. I don't get melodramatic about it or anything of that nature, but there was a slight possibility we might not be seeing it again, but...
My wife just couldn't come to see the ship leaving, you know. She went home and I went down and joined at midday, and then we sailed that night.
Run, rabbit, run, rabbit, run, run, run. Bang, 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 bang goes the farmer's gun. Run.
Everybody was taking turns to make a last phone call home, you know. Nobody was very happy. But I must have said before, I mean, leaving Portsmouth, we left with all the typical razzmatazz that the Royal Navy could lay on, but yeah, I was glad that we got away, and that was it.
Without his rabbit parts around.
Same as with the passengers.
Yeah.
Everybody got on.
Yeah.
Which was surprising, really.
Yeah. Camaraderie was brilliant.
Just had to get on, didn't they?
Yeah. They realised that we was a civilian crew and there was no salute or anything and calling you Sarah and that, you know. It's just... The only problem we had was with the Royal Navy. The Royal Navy expected us to stand and salute them, you know, and Don Ellaby told Espin Jones, he said, we're a merchant navy crew, we're civilians, and we don't salute your ranks.
Well, there was the privates. I mean, they're a bit psycho, aren't they? They're going to war. But the officers, not the NCOs, was allowed in our bar. But they had two of the sergeants on the door, didn't they, John? So the privates couldn't get in.
I remember
So we got to meet the sergeants and that.
I remember the sunshine when they was out bronzing, and so many of them got being suntanned. And there was burning, and what was his regimental name? Simpson?
Simpson, yeah.
And he had them running around the decks with the backpacks on, and you could see the bloody red backs and all this. He just get going. Anyway, he was a freaking admiral, wasn't he?
Yeah.
It's strange when we was walking up and we used the passengers and you seen these big chaps and they've all got guns to carry them with us all the time, 24 hours. They weren't allowed to put them down. Even when they went to the toilet, they'd take them with them.
Yeah.
And you're walking past and you said, would you like tea or coffee? And they've got a big rifle. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
Everybody gelled together. There was a lot of mickey taking, but that was just the way things were on the ship.
Banter.
It was just banter, loads of banter all the time. I was on the nights. We had to go on the nights. The ship had to be split because the ovens, we only had 6 ovens that properly worked. And when we was baking like bread, there was in use 24 hours a day for other things. So we had to go into a Did 6 to 2, 2 to 10, 10 to 6. And it worked well.
And your mate played a big part in it.
Yeah.
You've got to say that. I mean, if you didn't walk around with a smile on your face,
Yeah.
there's something wrong with you.
Yeah. Someone said, oh, it's one of the officers' birthdays in the sergeant's mess. He said, will you come and play, fetch the piano along? I said, all right, Ben. So I asked permission from the pairs, from whatever, you know, because we was in our own quarters. I mean, it just snowballed from there. 1 minute I'm playing in the officers' mess for the sergeants, then for the squaddies in the Continental Lounge, and then the snug bar for the officers themselves. But lipstick and paint, I just went for gold. I thought, well, just go for it. You know what I mean? And they loved it.
I think at first everybody was eyeing us. They thought we might be a bunch of pirates, and we thought they were just a bunch of weekend sailors, you know. But once we started to gel, I think it went reasonably well.
We had rumours. We picked up rumours. I think I knew before we got to Ascension that we were going to go further. But, you're not supposed to make things common knowledge.
Well, to be honest, we thought, well, that's it. They go off, and we come on. Nobody said they was going to go to Ascension, pick some more stuff up and go there for the year, up and down.
Yeah.
Because we thought, right, we've done our job. They didn't tell us that.
General Julian Thompson came on board and he said, ideal ship for landing. You go in further on. Will you please all write to Will? Will you got a phone call? Will you want to write any letters home? And we'll go further down. And then that's when things changed. Going down south to the Falklands, you know. And then when the groundhog got hit, we realised it was in a bit of a sticky moment.
And when we all volunteered, more or less, with a few of the lads we were talking, I says, big pay rise here, and I says, we'll only go as far as Ascension Islands and we'll come back. Because they'll shoot yourselves. little to us, we know when we left Ascension, wasn't it? And the Sheffield got hit. And we thought, it's for real.
I came down and what is the control room? This thing's propped at the back, didn't it? It was a photograph copy of a drawing of the Nolan with an helicopter on the back, and all of us. Then all of us, what's this, Jim? Oh, war orders. Oh, right, let's have a look. And I think we was redesignated, weren't we? We're no longer from a troop ship to an helicopter assault ship or something. Yeah. Hang on, things are changing and changing rapidly.
They moved the post 3 times. First was going to Ascension, then when they said they was going 200 miles away from the Falkland Islands and get unloaded, then it was change again, we were going in. And that's when it really hit more than anything then, we were going in. And with us being first ship in, as Fozzie said on the previous, we was on night, so we was working. All the rest had to go and lay down, and we continued working. And all they told us is if we'd hit a man, our legs would have shattered, and we had to lay there until they can come and sort us out.
We got orders to stand down because the SAS have found a possible minefield, and the entrance to Fanning Head might have been mined. So Julian Thompson and Admiral Westwood decided that the Noland was expendable. She was only a ferry, so we send the ferry in with 2 aging ships called the Intrepid and the Fearless. And the HMS Plymouth, who was just come out of commission, she was going to be scrapped, so she went in. So they sent the 4 ships in first, and we wondered, because I was on the bridge with John Graham, we could hear the shells going over our heads, hitting different targets.
I just remember going off, because I went on to the arse end and was looking up and just watching all the traces. And then that was about 4 in the morning. But I remember when we first went in, it was the broadsword sailed alongside us and shot the message that we was going in.
Radio silence, you see.
But then we all had to lay down on your beds or on your deck or something like that because of mines. And said if you hit a man or something, he said it could break every bone in your body.
We got the orders to go in on the morning of the 20th. And I think they played some stirring music over the tannoy system. It was very RM type stuff, you know.
All the paras was getting ready for disembarkation, and we was in the middle of doing bacon sandwiches, weren't we? Bacon egg sandwiches for them, because we wanted to make sure the paras had a meal. Although they had a dinner, we wanted to make sure they had a meal, because when they got ashore, they would have to dig in, and it might have been 24, 36 hours. So it was just like a mother looking after the kids.
But we did it under total darkness. We were fully blacked out. And there were night sights and stuff like that issued off for the bridge, you know. And we were in a basic convoy. There was ships like the Antrim and the Yarmouth and whatnot let us in. And when we got into the Falklands Sound, the LCUs from Invincible came alongside, Intrepid, and we got them, the men out, the paras out through the shell doors and into the landing craft. And there were 900 or so got off with only one injured.
As the two paras was disembarking, our Captain Ellaby was used to passengers, wasn't he? And he passed the ding-dong. Ding dong. This is Captain Ellaby. I wish you all a safe journey and a safe onward journey. I will look forward to seeing you come back. But he didn't realise all the outside speakers was on. So you can imagine an Argentinian sat there on his corned beef sandwich and he hears ding dong. What the hell is going on here? It's a wonder we didn't get blown up before.
The ferry's coming.
Yeah, the ferry's coming, yeah.
Defence State 1, Defence State 1. Personnel not closed up, proceed by stairs to G-deck. Personnel not closed up, proceed by stairs to G-deck.
Scary.
Yeah.
Everybody had to go down for some reason. And Peter will bear me out here. We all had to go down to G deck, and there was 6 of them in my cabin. Pete being one of them. And I thought, well, why are we down here?
Yeah.
They would last from about 9 in the morning till 5 in the evening. There used to maybe be 3 at a time would come in.
Red alert stations it was, and you could see the aeroplanes coming down over the mountains and the hills, and there was like little pinheads in the sky. And next minute they used to fly over us, drop the missiles, and then fly over back to the mountains to Argentina because they only had enough fuel to get them back. Anyway, like I say, it wasn't a very nice experience, and it was frightening.
They sent us down to G-deck, and when the first bombs dropped, you felt the hull go like that. And that was scary. You know what I mean?
You unloaded ammunition during the air raid, didn't you? Civilians unloading ammunition onto a landing craft during an air raid, and we all just carried on. Yeah. There's all these army lads with flash jackets and helmets and what have you, and wearing t-shirts and what.
Tell you what I did, I don't want to digress, but I remember I was in the engine room. There was a one in the middle of an air raid, and there was a 500-pound bomb landed not too uncomfortably close. And you could feel it through your feet, but then there was a rattling on the ship's side, and I thought it was stuff that had been thrown up off the bottom. It was Elsman Jones who said it was superheated bubbles of water which was bursting on the ship's hull, you know, that evaporated in the explosion. You know, it was.
Initially, we were told to go to G deck if there was an air raid on, but it didn't take any of us long to realise that that was one of the worst places to go. I mean, it would have been a death trap if something had dropped on top of us, you know. So everybody did their own thing and went to their own place.
There was such a bang, and the whole ship seemed to bounce up and down about a few inches, you know. What the hell was that? So I rang the engine room, the chief engineer answered. He says, I think we've been hit, Derek. He says, you stay there and we'll ring you back. Well, there I was in this steel box, 8,000 miles from home, pacing up and down in this steel box, wondering if this could well be the end of the Begg dynasty. Anyway, it was the longest 2 or 3 minutes of my life until that telephone rang. Anyhow, he said, it's all right, there was an aeroplane blowing up above us. He says, they're just clearing the mess up now. Oh, I said, good, thanks very much, and put the phone down.
So we sneaked up onto sea deck and was on the back end of the ship again. And I went, freaking hell! There was a frigging sky up right above us like that, and I went, on the undercarriage, we went, well, I run to the doorway, he's on top of me like that, oh, and I frigging bruised.
Yeah, well, that's when it got hit.
And she got blew up as well.
Right above our heads. No, we got on top of him.
And some of the shrapnel landed on the helipad.
We're underneath him. Right, you could actually see the power.
Yeah, I was bruised.
And the missile, it was so low. This missile was chasing it. And as it went up right near our ship, you see, to get away, because there was the big hills and all, as it went up, it just went whack. Underneath, it just come down like confetti.
Well, there was a couple of evenings you sort of thought to yourself, what's going to happen tomorrow? But, you know, we were lucky we got through it. Yeah.
I was unloading the stores with the rest of the lads in a big plane into the, the LCUs, the landing crafts, like. And there was the captain of it, this Marine, he shouted through his, "Are you all crew?" And I was right near I said, "Yo, you all that?" He said, "Could you get somebody because this headline keeps breaking?" And the landing craft kept coming off and banging. You know what I mean? So I went up top and I saw Shep, the bosun. He said, "Right, but you'll have to come with me." I said, "Holy shit." We goes right up and on the sea deck, there was a companionway that went round onto the forecastle, down into the chain locker where all the ropes was. But as we got onto this companionway, the Antelope drifted by and blew up, right in front of us.
When it got daylight and what have you, and you see the helicopters and and then seeing the survivors after that, that's when reality hits you. You know, there's no ascension then.
No, I remember seeing it explode and all the Marines were shouting, making us go back inside, but I did actually see it go up as well.
Yeah.
Well, like,
it sounds like you see it on that photograph.
Yeah.
That'll stay with me forever.
Yeah, it will.
And it seems to take ages for it to sink.
Yeah, well, you know, when it,
long time.
Yeah, and then the next morning you see it with its back broke, don't you?
You see it like that, and lift, whatever there was, helicopters and all like that, and it was. I think that was a bit traumatic.
Yeah, it was a crazy time.
Crazy time.
We ended up making beds.
Yeah.
Making beds for them all. I remember that.
Yeah.
I think it was early hours in the morning, wasn't it?
Yeah. Dropped lifeboats, took them off, brought them back on the ship. All the crew members was asked if we could give them clothing, which we did. Yeah, we all gave them clothing. They went in the restaurant, in the cafeteria, and they all had a meal, and we looked after them.
The first thing they did, they took them in a cafeteria and they said, what can we do? Get the bloody tea going. So we've got tons and tons of tea, just to cool them down, get them down. Then, of course, once they got settled and they got changed and showered and everything, right up sitting by playing the piano.
Even more, I put my arms around him.
We'd gone round the ship though, and we went round all the lads on the ship and just said, "You got any socks, underpants, shirts?"
Yeah, we rigged
them
them
was
out.
only what they'd come out of the water in. Yeah. So we'd give them all what we had, shoes, and there was their officers dishing them out to the lads. So and then the gear there was taking off.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they had nothing. I mean, the poor.
They was all assessed when they came on, and then they were sent to the accommodation after being interrogated. And going down to the first one in Ponterizas, we had a load in the restaurant all laid out, which suffered from injuries and that, didn't they? Yeah. And the rest was all in cabins. At first, when we was taking them down south, they thought we was going to drown them all because the ones on the car decks was containers, and they thought we was going to put them all in a container and shove them off the side. And they wouldn't refuse to eat and that, but in the end, managed to tell them that we're here to look after them. You know, we're not going to harm them.
Yeah, I had to come out with cabin on G deck, didn't I? I had to go on B deck.
Yeah.
With all these.
Yeah.
I think there was 4 to a cabin on G deck, wasn't there?
Yes, there was. Yeah.
2 beds, 2 bunks.
Yeah.
4 prisoners of war to a cabin.
It was in a bad way.
Yeah, full of scabs and everything. Because they didn't get the food, you see. All the officers was eating like kings. They was treated like rubbish, them lads. And at the end of the day when they came on board, they was in groups, sat on the car decks, and they was going down to the showers on G deck. And as Richard said, there was, making them to get a shower, tidy themselves up. And there was one squaddie, one Argentinian. He had this rucksack on his back, and he wouldn't take it off his back. So anyway, I think he was a Marine, made him take it off his back, and I didn't see it myself, but it did happen. He had his dead brother's remains in this rucksack. Yeah. The
prisoners come on board, they had a lot of food. Believe it or not, they had a lot of food in the satchels, didn't they? Yeah. And we took it off them and we used to make a stew with it, didn't we? And put it in the big boilers. Yeah. And that's what we fed them a lot of their own food back, actually. Because we were surprised how much they actually had in the kit bags.
When we was doing the cooking, before we went out to the prisoners, this Lieutenant Commander Combs from Royal Navy, he come and tasted it to make sure it was fit for them.
Yeah.
Part of the Geneva Convention.
Yeah, that's right.
I really changed everybody. I don't like silence. And I think that's from when we took the 2-power off and the ship went flat and everybody was quiet. And now I've got to have music on. I think everybody had different experiences of it, didn't
It
you?
didn't affect you, there was something wrong with you. I mean, in air raid wardens, if you wasn't frightened, you would tell a lie. Because it was frightening, no matter what anybody said.
I do believe that everybody thought we won't get it. You know what I mean? That's what I thought, we were all right. And I tried to put out my man being getting it. And that
I think I'd say the biggest majority of us was frightened sometime or other.
We're not.
But I think the best one when it came over, as we was coming back from, when was it the first time we took the prisoners?
Yeah, to Montevideo.
Montevideo, and when we was sailing back, and the white flag had been arisen. And the Harriers came out in front of us doing victory rolls, and then on the speakers, what was it, Rule Britannia and all this stuff, coming over, and that's when tears was everybody's eyes.
Like I say, you get your good days, your bad days in life, everybody does. But
it's still the memories there. It's not flashbacks. You sat and something will come up on telly or you hear something.
It brings back memories.
Even a tune, and you go,
Phew.
And you know exactly who was sat with and what you was talking about.
Yeah.
And it does really.
Yeah.
And I've got to say this, the thing it does make you wonder about is how good all them armed forces was. Yeah. I mean, I know it's interrivalry, regimental, but how they all work together.
Yeah.
And what they deserve a lot more than they're getting now.
Yeah.
Because they're brilliant.
They're brilliant, really good lads. And lasses, some lasses as well.
Oh, the lasses as well, yeah.
Well, things tend to be before Falklands and after Falklands.
Yeah.
You know, there's that sort of line in your life.
I don't think we got what we should have deserved, to be quite honest, because we were out there that long, and like Fozzie said, when we came back, we didn't get the what's the word I'm looking for?
Recognition,
that we should have got.
I think all the glory was taken by the big boys.
Definitely.
I think myself, just my own opinion, was left there down so long.
Yeah.
Not in the States because we was doing a good job. It's just that when we got back home, a lot of it all been forgotten.
I mean, the Norland, a lot of people forget she must be actually one of the last ships to come back from the task force. I mean, she was out there the best part of, not far short of a year. I mean, and she was too handy, that was the problem.
Yeah. They used it as transport between Ascension and the Falkland Islands.
in maritime history, Norland is up there, bigger than the Canberra, for what she did, because she not only was a troop ship, but she did a lot of things which wasn't unescorted. When we went down to Grytviken to pick up the Gurkhas in Grytviken, we had no escort. And we had the hull trawlers there, and
Hull trawler, yeah.
yeah, the Canberra, the QE2 came scurrying in, dropped all the Gurkhas and the 3 Commando Brigade off, and then she disappeared again. Yeah, to a rapturous welcome home. We were still out there.
I've got a photograph of the QE, so it's all trawlers alongside, but it's in the album.
Yeah. But Norland is well respected in whole maritime, and I was certainly make sure the officers and crew in Norland I never forgot.
We did what was expected of us. I think we did it reasonably well, but that's what all the communities said, I think.